Hey, this is Mr. Lee, and this is going to be a video tutorial for Chapter Three's Activity Sheet 4. Activity Sheet Four's main point is pretty much brushing up on all the skills I've taught you so far, whether it's proportional relationships, whether it's finding patterns, whether it's finding the constant, and whether it's graphing. We're all putting that together. And I know some people still don't know what's going on, so I'm hoping that you guys can get this extra practice. That's why they're all reinforced problems. Also, if you already know how to do this, you can pause the video or fast forward the video whenever you want. Or if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind. Now here we go. Number one says Carlos is buying a cell phone plan, purchasing. The company offers three different options. The first one's called Pay As You Go and pays 60 cents each minute. Then the middle plan is called a regular plan, and that pays $40 a month and 20 cents each minute. Our last one is all-in-one, so you just pay $100 per month for unlimited minutes. So letter A, Carlos thinks he will use about 200 minutes a month. We have to calculate each of these options, how much of each of these options would cost Carlos for 1 month. So I'm going to highlight our clues real fast. We're using 200 minutes a month, and the month that we're using it by, we're going to do it by 1 month. So I'm kind of doing some strategies that we know. I'm finding our clues. I'm circling key numbers and trying to find the question. So let's see. For the first one, it's pay as we go. So I'm going to do this first one right here. So pay as you go, it's 60 cents. So I've got 60, right? And I need to figure out 60 cents, and it's 200 minutes a month. So I'm going to times 200 by 60. So right now, pause this right here and write down your answer once you get it, and then check it with me. All right, so here's the answer for Pay As You Go. Pay As You Go is going to be $120. The reason I got that, it's 200, which were the minutes per month, and it's 60 cents. Remember when you do 60 cents, it has a decimal point right here. And when you multiply a decimal, you make sure your answer has to have the same amount of numbers behind the decimal. So for me, I've got 2 numbers behind the decimal. That means my answer needs 2 numbers behind the decimal. So Pay As You Go is $120. So the first one is $120, 120 bucks for Pay As You Go. All right, so that's $120. Now let's do our regular plan. So for this one, I pay $40 a month, and it's gonna be $20 each minute. I'm going to write this in green font. So this one will be in green. Right here, this is for regular. So to set this one up, I have 2 things going on for regular plan. I have a $40, right? I have $40 a month, and I have to add how much? 20 cents for each minute. So it's $40 plus what? $40 plus 200 minutes times 20. So what I have to do right now is multiply 200 times 0.20. Pause it right here to try to do this, and then add it up, and then check your answer here in a bit. So as you guys see, I'm multiplying this out, right? And again, because the 0.20, that's 20 cents, is 0.20, I have to make sure my number has 2 numbers behind its decimal. So remember, I have $40 from the plan, and then I found with the 200 minutes times 20 cents, it's another $40. So I have to add $40 plus $40. So for the regular plan, it's going to be $40 for the regular. All right. Now, the all-in-one, I'm going to write this in blue ink, and we just pay $100 per month for unlimited minutes. There's no math in here. That's not really a trap or trick, but there I say you pay $100 regular, so it's just $100 all in one. Okay. Now let's go down to B. Which of these options is the least expensive? The best deal has to be what? What's the regular? So regular is the best deal. So regular. Now why? Because it's 40, and that's the cheapest. Pause it right here if you need to write this all down. Now part C, how many minutes each month would make the cost of the regular and the all-in-one the same? And explain your answer. All right, now here's the thing. We know that like the all-in-one is $100. We're comparing green and blue, the regular, which is 40, and the all-in-one, which is 100. So they're asking, when will there be like a tie in minutes? All right. So think about it this way. When I read the regular plan is like $40 plus $20 each minute. We know this is for like 200 minutes. I pay $40 for like 200 minutes. So would it take like 250, 300, 350 minutes for that regular deal to match like the $100? I want to turn green somehow. I want to crank up the money to $100. All right? So let's figure this out. Right now, I know that I pay $40 and it's going to get me, I'm sorry, not $40. I pay $80. I pay $80, and when I do the regular plan, $80 gets me 200 minutes. And when I pay $100, I get 200 minutes. So even if I like double the minutes, like if this is like 400 minutes, I'd still get like $100. If I doubled, what happens if I doubled the minutes for green? So this would be 400 minutes, right? But the double of 80 is 160. So that's like way too much. I want to somehow get them close to like $100. So I can't just double this $80 right into 200. So here's what I'm going to do. All right. What I'm going to do is this. The double 40 is 80, and that would mean I get 200 minutes. 200 minutes. And I'm almost really close to $100. So how much more could I get for like $100? So $100 is like question mark minutes, right? So here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to set up a ratio real fast. We have 80 over 100, and this equals 200 like this. This is going old school back to chapter 5. Okay? So right now, before I cross multiply, I'm going to cancel out the zeros. So now I have 8 over 10 equals 200 minutes like this, right? 8 over 10 can be reduced to 4 over 5. So I'm going to write it over here. 4 over 5 equals 200. Now I can cross multiply and divide. So I draw my arrow like this, and now I'm going to multiply 200 times 5. That's going to get me 1,000. I get 1,000, and now I'm going to divide it by 4. So that's going to get me 2, which is 8, 20. It's going to get me about 250. I need about 200. So the answer is this. For me, for the regular plan to pay like $100, like the all-in-one plan, I want them to have both $100. It would be like 250 minutes. I need 250 minutes as the answer. So that's the answer. It's about 250. All right, so turn the page, and I'll see you on the next part. All right, so here's the next part. We have to, part D, construct tables, graph, and then graph all three options. So here's your graph lines, and we've got to make tables first. So the first option, I'll put this in red. And it's my T-chart, and it's the pay-as-you-go. So this is for pay-as-you-go. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what am I supposed to graph? Pay-as-you-go. All right, so for the pay-as-you-go, I'm going to compare money and time, or minutes, okay? So this is how I'll write down. Let me just make my T-chart a little bit longer. So the first one is minutes. How many minutes I use, and the cost. All right? I want you guys to turn back really fast to look at the pay-as-you-go price. I'll turn my page right here. Pay-as-you-go, you just pay $60 a minute. That means I'm just multiplying, all right? So if I multiply everything by 60 cents, that means my constant is always 60 cents, okay? So if I pay like 1 minute, it's 60 cents. 2 minutes, it's $1.20. If I pay zero, if I have 0 minutes of talk, how much does it cost me? Well, 0 times 60 gets me 0, all right? Now, here's one thing that I want to bring up. Because I'm dealing with money, I'm dealing with a lot of like decimals, right? I don't want to graph decimals on the graph because that makes it really hard to like draw my X and Y lines, okay? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to think of some bigger numbers, like bigger minutes, so I can make my times a little bit easier. So I'm going to multiply everything by 60 cents for pay-as-you-go. So for the first one, I'll do like 60 cents times, I'll do this by 50. I'm going to count off by 50 for my graph, and I'll show you what I mean. So the first one right here, 50 times 60, it's going to be like 0, 0, and then 0, and then a 30. And I add it up, and I'm going to get 3,000. But remember, because I have 2 decimal points, I put my dot here. So for about 50 minutes, if I talk 50 minutes, I have to pay $30. Okay? Now, again, I'm going to count off by 50s again. And I'm going to multiply 60 by like 100. So this is going to get me 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 6. I have 2 decimals, so that's 0, 0, 0, 6. So that means I pay about $60 for like 100 minutes, okay? And we'll do one more. We'll do 150 right here, all right? So right here for 150, I'm going to do 150 times what? Well, 150 times 0.60, okay? So this is going to get me like 0, 0, 0, because it's 0 times 150. Now this one is going to be 0 times 6, 6 times 5, which is 30, but I carry the 3, and 1 times 6 plus 3 gets me 9. So I add them up, so I get 0, 0, 0, 9, and I put my dot here. I have to pay $90. All right, so we have our first table, and now I have to graph it. So I give my graph a title. This is pay as you go. Now I have to label the y-axis, okay? And the y-axis is the cost. That's my output. So I put like 0 right here, and I'm going to count off by 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put a 50 right here, okay? And I'll count off by number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets me 100 right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 150 right here. Make sure you label it out. Also, can you put a dollar bill sign, since this is the cost? Our y-axis is the cost. I know there's not that much room right here, but this part on the bottom is going to be called minutes. So you count off by 5s on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be 50 like minutes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 100. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be 150 right here. And this is going to be in minutes. I know there's not much room, but try to put in there best you can. Now we put our dots. This is proportional because it starts at 0, 0. Then I go 50 to 30. So I go right by 50 and up by 3. 1, 2, 3. If you guys have a hard time counting them off, this is also, each square is worth 10. The next one is 160. So I go right to 100 and up to the 60, which is right here, a little bit above the 50. And then 150 to 90. So that means it's a little below the 100. My 100 is right here, so my 90 should be right here. And if you guys can connect the dots, I don't have a ruler, so just connect the dots best you can, like that. Okay, so that's our first one. Now the second one, if you look, it's not pay as you go, but I think the second one is called the regular plan. So make your second chart right here and call it the regular plan. Regular plan. Now right here, guys, it's the same thing. Minutes and cost. And can you guys number it? The same thing right here. So there'll be a dollar bill sign, and it's going to start from 0 all the way to 150 and count off by 50, okay? To keep this simple too, can you guys put a 0, a 50, a 100, and a 150 right here? The same inputs, but our output will be different. What will our output be? If you look at the regular plan, we have to add $40, and then we're going to multiply 20 cents by whatever minutes. So I'm going to give you the first freebie. So remember, it's going to be like $40, right? We always add $40 plus whatever we multiply. So if I have 0 minutes, right? I'm going to have 0 times, how many cents do I have to pay for each minute? It's 20 cents. So 0 times 0.20. So 0 times 0.20, and multiply it. 0 times 0.20, that's going to get me 0, okay? So $40 plus 0, if I use 0 minutes, it still costs me $40, okay? Now, the second freebie that I'm going to give you, and also this tells me that this isn't proportional, is if I have to multiply 50 minutes times 0.20. So it's going to be 0, 0, and then 2 times 0 and 2 times 5, which gets me 10. So for the minutes right now, I'm going to get this right here. So this gets me $10. What do I do with the $10 though? With the $10, I have to add it to the 40, right? So 10 plus 40, that's going to get me $50, okay? So with that 50, I'm at 50. All right, can you guys pause this video right now and try to finish up the regular plan for 100 minutes and 150? Remember to like add $40 every time you multiply the minutes by 0.20. Welcome back. If you want to check your answers real fast, you should get $60 for the 100-minute one, and for 150, you should get about $70, okay? Remember, you need to multiply 0.20 times 100, and then add 40. You need times 150 times 0.20, and add $40, okay? The reason I'm not writing this out is just I want you guys to do this on your own. And also, because I do this digitally, I run out of space faster. I can't write as small as you guys can. I'm going to give you guys a head start then on the last one. The last one, I think, was called all-in-one, and I'll write this in blue. So the all-in-one, when you do all-in-one, the table is going to be the same. It's going to be minutes and cost, okay? So for the minutes and cost, you're going to have 0, you're going to have 50, 100, and 150. Now, guys, I want you to read the plan for all-in-one. It's really weird. All-in-one, you always pay $100 no matter what the minutes are. So this is really weird looking. Our line's going to look really strange. So for 0 minutes, I pay 100. For 50, I pay 100. For 100, I pay 100. All the output is always going to be 100. So label this all-in-one. We have our 0 right here. This is 150. 150 right here. This is our money, and this is in minutes. And remember, we count off by 50. So it's 50 and 100. And this is going to be 50, and this is going to be 100. Now, here's the weird thing. So look, if I have 0 for minutes, I go up to 100. So my dot's right here. If I have 50, I'll go right by 100, and I put my dot right here. If I have 100 minutes, I go up to the 100 right here. What's happening with my straight line? 150? It's going pretty much right across. So it's going like right across. This tells me that my concept of proportionality is really messed up. So this is really weird right here, okay? Also, this definitely tells me this is not proportional. The $100 is constant, but it's not constantly proportional, okay? So constant proportionality, it tells me that, like, this is really weird. Later on in 8th grade, we'll find out what this is called exactly. Part E, describe how graphs are different and why this occurs. All right. Hey guys, do you see the red, green, and blue ink? I want you guys to write this down. The question for E is describe how the graphs are different and why this occurs. So write this down and listen to my words. So the red one, pay as you go, it starts at 0. And it's the steepest because it's charged $60 a month. And you don't have a monthly fee, so there's that, like, there's no constant to it. So your line is simple, straight, and like steep. That means it kind of like goes up higher. In green, that says regular plan. It starts at $40, and that's called a monthly fee. And you pay that monthly fee constantly every month, each year. And it's not steep because you pay $20 a minute, and not $20, 20 cents. And 20 cents is cheaper than 60 cents. But it's not proportional because of that $40. It starts at 0.40. And then the blue one, all-in-one, it's completely flat. And you are charged the same fee, no matter what minutes to use. In real life, they call that a flat fee. And you have to watch out in real life because sometimes they'll scam you and say, oh, pay a flat fee regardless. And a lot of times that might be a good deal, but you have to pay attention to how much that flat fee is, or it'll cost like way more than what you expect. Letter F is more stuff to type. It's identify which plan is proportional, if any. So for this one, the proportion there's only like one proportional plan. No, one proportional plan, and that's the pay as you go. And then the non-proportional plan is, well, we know there's two, right? The other two were, what is it called? The regular and all in one. Those were the two non-proportional ones. Let me move this up. If I'm talking too fast or you need to pause it right here at this screen so you can rewrite everything. All right, welcome back. If you pause it, I'm going to scroll down to part G. If any of the relationships are proportional, identify the constant. So we have to find the pattern. The constant is this. You have to divide the output by input. So it's y divided by like x, okay? So for me, our proportional one was like regular plan, right? So, no, the pay as you go. So what I have to do for the pay as you go is divide the input by the output. So the pay as you go, it's going to be, let me look back at the chart. We can't use 0, 0, but we can use, I like even numbers. I'm going to use the number 60 over 100, okay? I cross out the zeros. The reason I got 60 over 100, let me turn back a page. It's because 60 and 100. This is my output, this is my input. So I'll use that for the other part. 60 over 100. So this is 0, 0, it crosses out. I have 6 over 10. 6 over 10 can be reduced into, they're in the same times tables. This is 3 over 5. So that's my constant of proportionality. Pause it right here if you need to write it down and turn the page to number 2. Number 2, I'm going to give you guys a head start, but you have to do this on your own. Sonia's favorite pizza platter is Mega Topping Pizza. Its name is fitting since it's advertised 35 different toppings. So here's the ad. A large pizza costs $8. And then for each topping, we have to pay 48 cents. So it's the $8 plus for each topping. I'll call T for topping. For each topping, I have to pay 48 more cents. So it's T times 48. That's kind of like an algebraic rule I just made. Sonia decides she wants the large pizza, right? The toppings that she gets are the pepperoni, salami, olives, onions, green peppers, and shrimp. That's weird. So how much does her pizza cost? So we need to figure out cost. Okay? We know that she's going to pay $8, right? But we have to figure out how much we're going to times the 48 cents by. How many toppings does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 7 times 0.48. Can you guys multiply that out for me right now? Multiply 7 times 0.48. It should look like this. 0.48 on top. You put the 7 down here. Hey, welcome back. I just paused it real fast. I just realized I counted wrong. It's not 7 toppings, which is $3.36. It's 6 toppings, which is $2.88. So can you erase the 7 and put a 6? So we're going to add $2.88 to $8. If I have $8 plus $2, I get $10, right? And then how much cents do I have on? I have 88 cents. All right. Part B Part B. Find out the cost of the most expensive pizza you can buy at Mega Toppings. Show how you figured it out. Guys, what I need you to do, it's going to be 8 plus, how many toppings can you buy? It's going to be 35 toppings, right? There's 35 toppings. That's like the most, that's all the toppings. And you're going to multiply it by what? You'll multiply it by 48 cents. This is going to be the last of the help right here. For part C, make an algebraic rule. I kind of gave the rule already right here. We just have to use the last variable. So C is the cost. How much does a pizza cost? It's $8 plus the number of toppings times 48 cents. So it's going to look like this. Let me make this look a little bit better. It's 8 plus 0.48 T. Right now, finish this video and then finish up to problem number 3B. It should be up to problem like 3B. All right, guys. Good luck, and I'll see you later. Bye.